Top of the top, off your back and on your feet. It's each one teach one, ain't no time to sleep. It's your boy Big Mac from Bonafide, live and direct from my sacred space. Today I'm in my mobile office. You already know, before we get started, I gotta give it up to the Most High for keeping me safe, keeping a shroud of protection around my family, watching over me as I travel these highways, and waking me up yet again that I might come before you as a watchman on the wall. So in Thanksgiving, we partake in the breath of life because it's truly a miracle that we are not breathing through tubes or pushing up daisies. So on three, we're going to take in all the stress and then we're going to let it out. 1, 2, 3. I need another one. I need another one because I got something real heavy to drop on y'all today. So 1, 2, 3. Check me out, man. Now, y'all let me know in the comments if I'm the only person that ever believed in Christmas and I'm the only one that ever believed in Jolly Saint Nick. I don't know how I had this trick pulled on me because we from the ghetto. We didn't have no goddamn chimney, and Santa Claus is not coming to the ghetto, contrary to what James Brown and the Dog Pound had to say about the subject. However, there was a large portion of my life that I grew to believe that Santa Claus was the one bringing me gifts. No matter that my mother was working 3, sometimes 4 jobs. No matter that my mother was the one not in bed at night because we were so poor, you know, we all had to sleep in that one bed, me, my mother, and my sister. No matter that I ain't never seen a white man walking through my neighborhood that wasn't on drugs or didn't have on a badge. No matter. But I was tricked nonetheless. So what I would do when I was a kid, right? Because a lot of times we were living in 1-bedroom shacks, 1-bedroom apartments. Other times we had 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms. But wherever we lived at, mom's always set up a tree. And when she set up the tree, I would get up maybe every hour on the hour, and I would go to see if the gifts were up under the tree. Now, my mother went through great lengths to make sure the gifts were not in plain sight, right? I'm talking about now, we done set out milk and cookies for St. Nick. We done set out the oatmeal for the reindeers. I'm sure that they're coming at any minute. Never mind the fact that we do not have a chimney. Oh, let me mention that we also believed in white Jesus. So I would get up every hour on the hour, and I would go to check, and I still wouldn't see the gifts. So by the time I would just get so tired, nigga wouldn't even get up no more because I felt dejected. I was like, man, I ain't getting no gifts. I guess what mama was talking about was real, that, I was so bad all year that I ain't getting shit. I would just get so mad, so tired, so dejected. I would go to sleep and stay asleep. Wake up early in the morning, come out the room or wherever and see all these damn gifts. And I'll be like, damn it, Santa done pulled a fast one on me again. This nigga's good. He wait till I get good and tired and then come in the house. Well, I walk up to the tree, and of course, I'm gonna pick up the biggest gift. I pick up the biggest gift, shake that some gun, and I look at it, and it's my sister's name on the goddamn gift. Now, if any of y'all know my sister, me and my sister have always beef because soon as she came into my life changed. It was me and my sister. I was the oldest. And when she was born, she took all of my mother's attention, and I hated her black ass. I love her today, but there was a point in time in my life where I hated my sister. I am not ashamed to say it. I am proud to actually say that I have gotten over that, and I love her, and I love her offspring like I love myself. Nevertheless, at that time, I was upset. Rightfully so, because when I pick up my gifts, guess what I got? Some shit I can use, like some socks, like some pants, like some clothing, like a book, some shit that will make me better as a man, and some things that had usefulness in my life. Meanwhile, my little sister get the Cabbage Patch doll. Y'all remember the Cabbage Patch doll that ate your kid's hair? Yeah, she get that one. The one that pee. Yeah, I drilled a hole in that little motherfucker so she could pee all over herself. Mad as hell. Anyway, my point is, I spent all that time looking for a gift, and the biggest and best gifts under the tree did not belong to me. They belonged to someone else. Now, shout out to Donald Trump. This morning I went and watched his send-off, man, and I had to say I almost had tears in my eyes. I almost had tears in my eyes because this was the last time that black people would be allowed of their own volition to pull ourselves out of a hole that we have been placed in, not of our own accord. Donald Trump made it clear that he was not going to be feeding anyone and that those who competed at the highest level would be rewarded. He made it clear to everyone who watched him that he was an asshole piece of shit. He did not hide that. And I can appreciate the authenticity in a man, especially one of those men who upset the whole apple cart. Not only did Donald Trump not have Democrats on his side, but as you see in his last days, he didn't even have the Republicans on his side. Nobody liked this man. And I, as an underdog, I like the people that nobody liked, because there's something to be said when nobody likes you. All of them cannot be right. I'm sorry. All of them can, I said it right, all of them cannot be right. And as we will see in the years to come, there was some corruption and some bullshit that Donald Trump was bringing to the surface that the status quo did not want us to see on both sides. See, black people, we have become comfortable and complacent with the government taking care of us. And the government have become comfortable and complacent with us at the bottom. I need you to understand that racism is a race to avoid last place, and they have designated black people as the permanent underclass, and they do not want to see you come up. Donald Trump, on the other hand, he left out like a real nigga. No, not because he pardoned Harry O after serving 32 years in federal custody. Not because he pardoned because he pardoned Lil Wayne or Kodak Black, but he pardoned Steve Bannon. That was his homie. Donald Trump let a lot of his boys out of jail. Do you understand how it feel when a real nigga don't tell on you? And to get the reward for standing up, that you beat the case, or for your real nigga to be the big homie that can bring you home, and he actually brings you home after you stood tall and didn't tell on him and he didn't leave you. Can you imagine what it feels in your heart? Listen, man, as a street dude, as an anti-snitching dude, salute, Donald Trump. You did what you were supposed to do, and you stood right by your guys, man. And I salute that. I wish you could have brought Big Meech home. Maybe we'll get some breaking news that you did release Big Meech. But even still, man. But anyway, so leading up to today's inauguration, I have been searching proverbially up under the Christmas tree. And every day, I would see a new gift put up under the Christmas tree. And I start rubbing my hands. I'm like, ooh, I just know they got something big up under there for black people. I know, since we saved the country, since we got Joe and Kamala in there, ooh, I know they gonna have some big shit for us, right? So I went up under the Christmas tree, shook it. Oh, that one's for immigrants. Yeah, first thing on the agenda on the first day is to sign an 8-year plan to legalize 11 million immigrants. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Think about all the jobs that leave with those 11 million immigrants. All of y'all people marching in California to raise minimum wage. Well, there's some immigrants from these countries that ain't really making shit that's gonna come over here, and they gonna work for that $7, $8, $9, $10 an hour without a problem, and they're not gonna complain. So I just want you to understand how you just shot yourself in the foot. Because I remember when I was in prison, the brothers used to tell me about how the trucking industry was going down because of the immigrants, because they coming over here, they're taking our jobs, they know how to drive from their country, but they don't have no CDLs. So what they're doing is they're driving drunk and they're doing all this goofy shit, so they're causing more safety codes that have to be passed, and they're also lowering the prices because they'll do the work that we do at a much lower prices, so they fucking up the market. But that's neither here nor there. So the first big present, shaking it, they like, put that down, that's for the immigrants. All right, cool. Come back the next day. Ooh, if the immigrants got 11 million people, I know it's gonna be some big shit up under there for us. No. So also on the first day, they said they're going to mandate mask wearing federally. I don't know how this is going to go over. We already seen how it went under the Trump administration. Violent clashes, people getting shot at, people getting beat up, people getting beat on, people getting fired. Because, there's a zero tolerance policy for workplace violence, whether you are the aggressor or you are the aggressee, if that's a word. Either way, I said, okay, he doing this for the American people, for our health. Next day, I know it's a big shit up under there. If they got the mask mandate and they got the 11 million, I know it's a big shit up under there for black people. You know what I'm saying? I just know. Okay, so next thing is first 100 days, he is going to review all of Trump's policies and he's going to overturn the ones that he can overturn, starting with the Paris climate control. Now, I don't know too much about that agreement and too much about that shit, but I do know it's going to affect our stock market because I have been watching the stock market and they are afraid of these things. See, Trump was a businessman and one of the things he did, he made some good trade deals for our country. But nevertheless, I'm like, okay, all right, somebody go, all right, I know it's some big shit in there for black people. Well, goddamn, all we got was a lump of coal in our stocking. Came out and I looked at Daddy Joe and Mama Kamala, and I said, hey parents, because they are parents now. What my boy Coach Boone say on Remember the Titans? He said, that's your mom over there. Wave to her. Give her a smile. He said, because for the next 4 years, I'm your daddy. So I said, Daddy Joe, where the black people present? And here come Mama Kamala. She said, it's not like I'm gonna do anything specifically for black people. No. Clutches pearls. Now y'all know I'm traumatized because I told y'all how my mama done me, man. And shout out to my mama, man. I know she was just trying to make me a man. But I told you I was traumatized. My heart was broken. And right then, the fairy dust came off my eyes. And I had a glimpse of what the next 4 years were going to be like. See, it was already pointed out to me. It was already indicated clearly by how he talked to them goddamn civil rights leaders the other week. Talk about, I said what I said. Now, you listen to me. Talking to them like they inconveniencing him. I thought black people saved the country. But you can't carve out a little piece. That 11 million immigrants legalized over the next 8 years. I know y'all don't understand what that's going to do to the economy and do to you climbing yourself out of the hole. But he said that he was doing that because of a promise made to the Latino community. But y'all jumped in Cube ass when he said, I'm going to each party and I'm demanding some promises being made to us for our vote. Because this is the last election where we will matter. Now, can you imagine all of these damn immigrants coming from these other countries? They're going to look at Joe Biden like he white Jesus. And no, I'm sorry to tell you, they do not share your opinion of America. If they did, they wouldn't keep trying to come here. They look at us black people like we're ungrateful and we're stupid because we've been here since the beginning, yet we are still in last place. That's what racism is. Racism is a fight, a competition to avoid being in last place. And they have designated us as a permanent underclass. And Trump's administration was the last time that we have of our own volition to pull ourselves out of this hole that we did not put ourselves into. Because I'm sorry, y'all, but the writing is on the wall. There is no white Jesus coming to save us. There is no white knight riding in on a horse to fetch this damsel in distress. We are doomed. Some of us will make it. But for the most part, we gonna get... Y'all thought Trump was bad? Okay. Y'all, I ain't got to repeat the track record. I'm not gonna tell you how the plague that plagued the black community comes from that crime bill that Joe wrote. I'm not going to tell you how Kamala stopped these eligible parolees from going home so she could pay them $1.45 to fight forest fires, or she sealed up their DNA records so that they couldn't go home. I'm not going to tell you about that. No. I don't got to tell you about that. Y'all been hearing about that for the last year and some change. All I'm going to say is that I have been appointed as a watchman on the wall. And the Bible says this: the watchman on the wall is to stand. Y'all read it, I think it's in Ezekiel. I believe it's in Ezekiel. He said, as a watchman on the wall, when you see the sword coming, you are to cry out to the people. And if the people heed your word and repent of their ways, they will not die. But if you cry out on the wall, if you see the sword coming and you do not cry out, and the people will die, but their blood will be required at your hands. But if you cry out on the wall and the people don't listen, they will die, but their blood will not be required at your hands. Black people, I'm sorry. I got to wash my hands. I've been warning y'all, and I'm warning y'all right now. You better do what you gotta do to put yourself. No, we're not scared of no white race. We're not scared of the Boogaloo Boys. We're not scared of the Proud Boys. You best to be understanding that some of your so-called black leaders have been bought and paid for to push an agenda. Again, as I said, Trump was the upsetter of the apple cart. Not only was he going to displace a lot of these corrupt white politicians, but he was going to displace the boule. They depend on you staying asleep. Martin Luther King Day was on Monday, and shout out to Martin Luther King. I'm sorry, I was not raised in a house where Dr. Martin Luther King was celebrated. My mother was an educator. She did not allow us one thing that was not permissible in my house during Black History Month and all these other times where we celebrate black heroes. You bet not come in here talk about no Martin Luther King. And every year you had to be aware of a new black hero. Last year, you cannot do the black hero that you did last year, this year, every year, and you better be constantly educating yourself. This is the foundation that my mother laid. So I'm sorry if I forgot that Monday was Martin Luther King Day. But I'm glad I didn't start studying Martin Luther King until I became an adult, because I became objective and I was able to see Dr. King for who he actually was. And I believe that if today Dr. King were alive, he would have told y'all not to vote for Joe Biden. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Dr. King said in his own words, and I quote, "The northern liberal is more dangerous to the black man than the southern Ku Klux Klan." He said that the northern liberal is more dangerous to the black man because he tells the black man that you've made progress. Ain't that what the northern liberal tell y'all? Come on, you had Obama, we doing all these programs, you got the welfare, you got the WIC, and all this other bullshit. The northern liberal gives you the delusion of inclusion. The northern liberal tells you that there is nothing to fight for, that we have overcome racism. See, the Ku Klux Klan, he wears that symbol, he wears that hood that lets you know his intentions. And if you want to say Trump was that, then let's say Trump was that. Agent Orange, whatever else y'all called him, guess what? We knew who he was. But these liberal people, they will tell you that there is no reason to fight. Meanwhile, they're passing immigration laws that will make your vote and your voice null and void when it comes up for the next election. Oh, you think that shit has rolled downhill before? You ain't seen nothing yet, baby. I'm sorry to get on my soapbox. I know I'm probably loud as ever because I got my headphones on. I wanted to see how it, you know what I'm saying? Because my wife told me, she said, baby, you be yelling. And I only be yelling because I feel like y'all can't hear me because the phone is up on my dash. Man, my people, my brothers and my sisters, do not be fooled. The boule, those of you who do not know who the boule are, look them up. B-O-U-L-E. They are your academics. They are your some of your black media personalities. They are these sororities and fraternities. Not to say that these people have done nothing good for the black community, but a lot of them are in positions that they don't want upset. They cannot afford for you to wake up. They cannot afford for you to stop spending your $2 trillion plus a year in a way that is desirable for their companies to eat. rather than taking that $2 trillion and putting it into carving out your own piece of land and starting your own country within a country, within but without white America, as my brother Malcolm X so succinctly said. They do not want you to wake up. See, Trump was the fire up under our ass. He was the fire up under everybody's ass. And he put us on notice and on guard. And when you know you fighting a good fighter, you got to always keep your hands up. Guard your chin. Right? You got to always guard your chin. See, what the Northern Liberal does is he tells us, hey, I'm your friend. I love Negroes. I got 10 Negro friends. There's no need for you to be on guard while he's rubbing your back looking for the soft spot so he can put the knife in it. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know exactly what this next 4 years is going to hold. But I know with nothing to hold these people specifically accountable for, as in regard to our people, the best thing we can do is jump on somebody else's cause and ride their coattails. Because as far as our cause, stick a fork in that shit. It's done. So, either fend for yourselves or get out the way. Because ain't no white Jesus coming to save you. Ain't no white knight riding in on a white horse to save this black damsel in distress. It is up to you and you alone if you and your family will survive and thrive, or if you will die. With that being said, I'm your boy Big Matt. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys. Make sure you share this video if you saw some merit in it. Don't argue with the folk. Just share it and sit it right there and let that be that. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you heard. I try to get on here every week. Like the video, I guess. I don't know what that's going to do for me. But definitely please comment and have meaningful discussions with one another. Even if they're arguments, just keep it respectful, man, and voice your opinions. And let's get on code. That's what we're going to be talking about the next time I come to y'all, about getting on code. All right? But it's your boy Big Matt for Bonafide. Stay alert, stay attentive, stay alive.